everyone, it's Julia with Senior Susie Stamps. Welcome to my studio. I wanted to give you an update of how far we've gotten with the move. So come on and let's tour.
Here comes Snickers. Come on, Sneaky Doo. Come on, Puss Puss. You are such a good girl. Yes, you are. So come on in.
First, I want you to notice this fabulous new floor. It's wonderful.
And here's what we've gotten done so far. Now, you remember, this was my old ribbon rack, and I decided not to put it in the auction because I figured it would be a good thing to have for some extra storage in the studio, and I do think it will be. So that's the first part of the ribbon rack changeover. I have gotten some new work tables. These are Husky work tables. These happen to be 62 inches long, and they have these fabulous, let me show you, they have these fabulous drawers that pull all the way out. So this will help with some of my storage of things. They are only 1 inch deep, and I will need to make some dividers, of course. There's also a second one over here. And you remember I have some off-brand Alex drawers here. This is the old tabletop from the dog kennel office desk that John and I made. And we saved that and screwed it into the tops of these so they're very stable now. They don't move when you pull the drawer open. And there's a nice little slot down here where I can put tall standing things like foam and cutters that I'm not actively using. It also left a space for a full-size trash can, and we all know how important that is. I have my 4-5 lights, and they are wonderful. I use them, I've had them for years. I got them from Amazon, and they work very well for lighting my work surface area. Now, these overhead push lights that I have putting light up on the ceiling. I've only gotten one of them moved from the Blue House studio. The other one will come eventually, and probably give us a little bit more light in here. These little pieces that I got from Facebook Marketplace moved over quite nicely. I thought maybe I would refinish them and paint them black, and I'm so glad I didn't because it gets a little too dark in here, so we'll have to see if they get painted or if they just get used as is, which is fine with me. Now, I have these set out away from the wall, and I have my origami carts ready to fill back here, and it makes it a really nice work circle in the studio. This room, as it turns out, is basically a 4-part room. I used to have stamps on this rack, and so I decided to put, since I have 2 of them, and I had plenty of shelf space on them, and the shelf space is not very deep. These originally came from
Hobby Lobby.
And when they reduced their footprint, I kept harassing the manager until he sold me 2 of them. And the other one is over here. And I've got all my punches, every single one of them, on these 2 shelves. And they're organized where I can find them. And they're very easy to get to. Now, we've moved the ink boxes over, but I don't know what to do with them yet. I haven't figured that out quite yet. There's a lot of boxes to come in yet of supplies. I'm thinking probably all of the colored paper will go in this file cabinet. This is my office area. I do all my editing and all my personal office work here now, and filing. Probably will move that printer stand over underneath the TV area so that I can utilize this wall space a little bit better. Now, let's see. If we come around the back side, sorry, it's a little motion sensitive. I can get to the back side of my Gramercy carts quite easily here without having to pull them out. One of the issues that I face standing is that my back and legs get very, very fatigued. And so I use floor mats, which I didn't show you, but I think you can kind of sneak a little peek right there. It's up underneath that rug. That helps tremendously in my low back pain. And I did order a chair that matches this nice chair. John put it together for me. But it's a tall chair, so I will be using that some over in the craft desk. Not sure exactly how that's going to work yet or not, because I'm not sure there's enough space underneath this 2-drawer stack for the chair comfortably, but we'll find out. We'll find out. It'll be fine. At any rate, I can get to the back side of my Gramercy cards very, very easily here, and I will store things that I don't have to access often over in these old card catalog boxes that were my mother's. I have all of my sentiment stamps, and since I have started my sentiment notebook and I only need to stamp sentiments maybe once or twice a year, I can pull those boxes out, do a day's worth of sentiment stamping, and move on down the road, put them right back where they go, and never have to fuss with them again for quite some time. This little hutch is another one that I got off the Facebook Marketplace, and it's the bottom of the hutch. I use these bed risers that you can see here to raise things up. I've done that for years in the studio. It works very, very well. And this is, I've got some little small dies here. I am going to try to do more die cutting and get my machines out and get them used. I've got my small die cut Gemini over here. You can see it. Easy access to the desk. So that's something to come. I had my first visitor in the studio yesterday. My neighbor had her knee replaced, and her daughter's been up visiting. She does watercolor, and she's a paper crafter like we are, and I was so delighted to have a new friend come over and take a quick peek at the studio. So we went through the cards that I've been making recently. Well, not recently, because obviously I haven't been doing anything but moving, but you get the picture. So now these pieces, you remember this was my grandmother's little kitchen cabinet. I told you the story before of all the pies that she made on top of that little small cabinet that were fabulous. And this little glass front piece is the top to this hutch. And I have not much in it now. I have some nail polish and manicure stuff in there. But I have found a sweet little manicurist here that's about 2 miles from the house. And so I don't do my nails anymore. It's just a treat for me. I haven't been able to do that for years. And so there it is. It's in storage now. I did move my little monitor stands up on the top of this hutch. And this little piece of crown molding keeps them stable. And so I don't push anything off the back. Now let's see. Over in this area, the chairs have shipped for this. We have hung the TV, and it works really well up here. I'm tickled with that. This little piece right here is one that I had punches in, and it really overweighted it. So I don't know what that's going to transpire into, but we'll find out. This is just a drop in the bucket. There's a storage unit that has 2 walls lined with boxes that need to come in. So now let's go to the, oh hey, let's call it off-site storage. Just because it's crazy and we can do it. Isn't that a pretty view out there? There's a bird feeder out there. I don't know if y'all can see it or not, but this little African violet that's in the corner there was left in the little blue cottage as a little orphan. And it has come back and bloomed for me, and it's just a sweet little flower. Come on in. We have to go in through the bathroom if you recall. But that is okay. It's a water source up here, and it means I don't have to go downstairs to use the facilities. And I have some basic bones in the closet set up. Let me turn the light on. Oh, gosh, and there was light. So let me show you. I'm pretty sure that this shelf that the builder put in for a closet and the rod is going to have to come down and be moved up further, because you can't utilize that space well at all. But the top shelf holds the little crate things that I've got. I do have my paper rack in here, and well, here's the deal on the paper rack. It's not as handy as you would think it was, because I have ribbons that go with paper and, kits of sorts of things. And you can't really stuff them up in there and get them out easily. So I'm not sure whether I'm going to use this paper rack or not, but it fits here. I would prefer it to be out in the studio away from any moisture that would come from the use of this bathroom, but I don't know, because the two of them together are about 60 inches long, and that's a pretty good chunk of real estate to have to figure out. At any rate, we will figure it out. Now, these are my old white plastic shelves, and you can tell here there's a lot of headroom waste and side room waste, and I have used that for notebooks in the past, but you still have the headroom waste issue. Plus, these shelves are a good, inch and 3/4, 2 inches. So for every shelf, you lose 2 inches. So John and I have been talking about what to do about shelving in here, because all of my stamp cases are sized that will not fit in a calyx unit. It would be perfect in here to just implant some calyx units, but it just wouldn't work for my stamp storage procedures that I have. So we'll just have to figure it out as we go. And most of the storage in here will be, there's a nice corner back in here too for stuff. But at any rate, most of the storage that's in here will be pull and go sorts of things. I have some rolling carts that I can load up with supplies and just drive it out there to the studio. And so that, I think that's going to work out pretty well. So let's see if there's anything else that I might have missed. I'm sorry this has taken me so long, but it is the nature of getting older that you just can't move as fast, and you can't lug heavy stuff up and down stairs as fast and get it unpacked. It's crazy. So it may be another while yet. I had to pack up all my watercolor supplies, and I'll have to redo my watercolor cart. So those of you that started with me on the watercolor journey, we'll pick it back up. I apologize for dropping that in the middle of the room, literally. So at any rate, this is where we are so far. And I miss talking to you all in your comments, and I appreciate those of you who have checked in on me. And I will see you again soon. And I hope you have a wonderful week, and we'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.